remember, there be more than one way to live the pirate's life.
Well, hello mates. Welcome back to the channel. If you can guess what the video is about today, yes, today is the 20th anniversary of the release of the first Pirates of the Caribbean film in the franchise, Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl. I've discussed my experience with seeing the film before for the first time, but I just want to reminisce because it's been exactly 20 years to the day since I saw it for the first time. I remember it was a summer day, it was pretty hot, and I was playing Halo 2 on the Xbox with my brother. I can remember the level that we were playing when I heard my parents talking about going to see the film, but we had to wait for my siblings to get home from work, and we were planning on seeing, I think we saw like a 6 or 7 o'clock show. My oldest sister had to take a test for school, so she didn't get to go, but my mom, dad, oldest brother, older brother, and older sister wanted to go see the film at a theater that's about like an hour away from our house, the house that we grew up in. I was anticipating seeing this film for the longest time. For some reason, I just got the itch in me to really be excited for this because I knew from the get-go that it was based on the Disneyland ride, and I loved Disneyland so much, still do. But I know how much my family loved it as well, especially my mom, because my mom would go to Disneyland in the 60s and the 70s when she was really young, and she would ride Pirates back then, and she loved it back then. So I think she passed it on to me. But yeah, I can vividly remember sitting in that theater. We sat like the third or fourth row back. I sat between my dad and my sister, and I just remember being captivated the very first still of the film with the title, and then with the brightness with the fog, and then Elizabeth. Strangely, I can remember like my reactions of my family to certain jokes in the film, like when Jack says, I kind of chuckled because I thought of like ships giving birth. I still remember like chuckling at that, but yeah, that's kind of silly. I just remember when the film ended when Jack says, "Hey, bad egg. Drink up, me hearty yo ho." And the music starts up. I got goosebumps. That was like the most exciting, thrilling experience I'd ever had in my life with a movie. Just everything put together with the film, the soundtrack, the characters, how everything turned out, and just with the loud score, we have "He's a Pirate" playing in the theater. It gave me chills. I felt so like complete and like just ready for the next step or the next adventure in my life. It just made me feel so different. Like I had never felt that way before, my young 13-year-old self. And that is actually where it all began. So I actually remember seeing the film the following day with my siblings, just my 4 siblings and I. My sister that had to take the test the day of the release went with us the second day. So we went back to the same theater, and then afterward my brother went to the local GameStop in the mall, because the mall is like across the street from the theater, and he bought the Pirates of the Caribbean Xbox game. And the game was supposed to come with a ticket to see the film, but he opened up the plastic and the ticket was not in there. So he went back in and he got another copy, and the copy that he got thankfully had the ticket. But yeah, I was just so obsessed with this film. And back then on the internet, I think I visited the website. I used the internet a lot back in the day. So I think I went and visited the website back when the Curse of the Black Pearl site was up. But I remember going to Walden Books, and I saved on my allowance money or my chore money to buy the junior novelization. I've done a video about that, or I've done several videos where I've shown it and talked about it, because my mom put a special note in the front of the book just talking about what I did to earn the money to get the book. And I loved just reading and rereading the novelization, just admiring the pictures inside the book. Just that was so special to me. And at the time, the internet, you really couldn't get like soundtracks on. Like, of course, YouTube wasn't around yet. Amazon was like still in its early phases, I guess, of purchasing things. So when we wanted music, we would usually go to Walmart or Fred Meyer. Fred Meyer's a Kroger store near us. And so I remember my mom called Fred Meyer. It was at least 2 weeks after the film came out, and she asked the entertainment department if they had the soundtrack. And the employee kind of laughed and didn't really know what she was talking about. But eventually we ended up either going to Walmart or Target maybe, and we ended up finding the soundtrack. And let me tell you that I listened to that so much That was back in the time also when we were first starting to burn or copy CDs on iTunes. And I remember making a copy so that I could take it on a road trip to California to go to Disneyland once. And I just had that in my CD player, like listening to the soundtrack over and over and over again. But yeah, if we didn't have this film, we wouldn't have this beloved, amazing franchise and what's become of it. If we didn't have if we didn't have Captain Jack Sparrow and his introduction in this film, you know, where would we be? You know, we're 5 films later, hopefully a 6th is coming. But yeah, I just wanted to take this time to reminisce about seeing Curse of the Black Pearl in the theaters originally, what it meant to me, what it felt like. And again, I wouldn't have this channel if it wasn't for this film. Now, as you may know, for Disney's 100-year company celebration, they're re-releasing a lot of movies to theaters like Lion King, Frozen, Toy Story. But the first film they're releasing as part of the celebration is, as you know it, Curse of the Black Pearl. And so the first showing is starting July 7th, and it's going through July 20th. So, I may go see it in theaters. The only problem is, which I know this might sound weird, but the theater nearest me that's playing it is in a mall, and the theater is on the 3rd floor of the mall, and there are 2 flights of escalators to get up to the theater. And I'm not the biggest fan of escalators, just to be honest. I've been trying to find if there's like an elevator maybe to go up to that floor. I don't know if that's strange, but I want to see it in theaters again because, again, it's been 20 years since I first saw it, and it's crazy that Disney's playing it at theaters again. It's really heartwarming because there are times where Pirates fans, we feel like Disney kind of forgets about Pirates, but the fact that they're doing this on the anniversary, the 20th anniversary, is a really big moment for us. So I want to do a vlog of like filming myself going to see the film, you know, what it's like. I may just push through my anxiety and go and do it. And I haven't done like a out and about vlog in a really long time, so I think that would be cool too. And something I noticed, this is just kind of, it's on the same topic, but and a lot of the advertising they're doing for the film being in theaters, they're not showing Jack. I think maybe one of the images was Jack and Will on the ship, like the iconic image. But for the most part, it's just the Jolly Roger teaser poster they're showing, and then like on social media, I saw like a picture of Barbossa and Elizabeth advertising the film. So like it's like they're not using Jack as like a selling point for people to see the film in theaters. I think diehard fans will go to see it just because obviously they love it. But yeah, I really do want to see it. There again, my theater anxiety. There's another theater that's like an hour and a half away from me that might be better bet, but at the same time, it's just like I think that's also in a mall, and just like, yeah, long story. But yeah, I just want to do this video today to celebrate my love of Curse of the Black Pearl. Again, I can't believe it's been 20 years since I first saw it in theaters as a young 13-year-old, and 20 years later, here we are with this big franchise. Hopefully it keeps going and going, and we get Johnny back. But let me know in the comments below about your first experience seeing the film. If you saw it in theaters, or if you saw it when it was released on DVD or VHS, or if you're a recent fan. And let me know if you're going to go see it in theaters if you have a theater near you. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will be back soon with a brand new video, and be sure to look out at Cinema Scotty again. I'm going to be doing a week's worth of Haunted Mansion related videos in celebration of the upcoming Haunted Mansion film, because it's another film based on a theme park property, and that's what like my bread and butter is. So yeah, I will see y'all mates soon, and remember, there be more than one way to live the pirate's life. Ta.
Sea awaits your return, and so does Davy Jones. Ha ha! When next you sail, you'll sail with Davy Jones, and none shall escape. Ha ha!
You've stolen me, and I'm here to take myself back.